answering the question, do you actually need carbohydrates, or do you need to remove carbohydrates from your diet if you have PCOS? And I understand this is subject to a lot of opinions and all that, and I'm gonna give you my research-backed kind of information, and I hope that you'll also share in your comment what has worked for you. And I know that you've been told, like, for many years even, people have been told that carbohydrates are the culprit. Just eliminate carbohydrates and you'll be well. But is that really correct? Is that really the answer to your PCOS management? We are answering that question today, and I hope you learn one or two things. So first thing first is that you have to understand how our physiology works. Our body cells prefer to use glucose as the source of energy compared to other sources. Of course, I understand there's keto diet that completely runs on ketones, fat, and all that, which is another kind of metabolic switch. But today we are talking about the normal metabolism. Our normal metabolism actually runs on glucose. So when you take off glucose from, or you deny your body or your cells from getting glucose, that is majorly from carbohydrates. So what really happens to your body? So you find that your body will do whatever it takes to make sure that it gets back this glucose in the cells and stop starving. So in that process, your body actually increases the production of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which have some negative effect, especially if you have PCOS. It will increase your cortisol levels, that is your stress hormones, and then also it is also a source of inflammation. So those are some of the things that happen. So you go down on glucose, your cortisol levels and adrenaline levels go high, and you're in a fight and flight situation, and therefore your hormones are all over. It cascades down to hormonal imbalances. Another thing, it will lead to chronic blood sugar roller coaster, and the deep, like low blood sugars are also not good for someone with PCOS. So you need to maintain a stable blood sugar levels. But when you are denying yourself carbohydrates completely, you are now encouraging that roller coaster, that highs and lows, that kind of disturbance, and that is also what causes the hormonal imbalances in the first place, and anxieties and all that. So I have seen from people saying that they got relief from taking low-carb diet. They felt better. But what I have seen from studies is that it's only like a band-aid, like a temporary relief that you get on it, but it doesn't last forever. You cannot be on no carbohydrates for your life. I mean, I'm yet to see someone who has been on no carbohydrates at all for life, how they survive, especially as a woman that have different kinds of hormones that are connected to each other. And one thing you need to understand, that carbohydrates actually have very life-giving functions. Like say our liver depends on glucose for many functions. Number one is conversion of thyroid hormones, that is T4 to T3. So whenever you are on a low-carb diet for a long, prolonged period of time, you will definitely become or have thyroid issues, mostly you'll become hypothyroidic, because now your liver is not converting much of those hormones, that is T4 to T3. And also the liver is also requires a lot of energy and also some other nutrients so that it can do its detoxification functions, which when it comes to hormonal imbalance, you want to make sure that your liver is working optimally, and that's why you hear people talking of detox, castor oil, things that are going to support your liver to efficiently work well. And one thing is good sources of carbohydrates. So what people debate about, and I can also agree on that, is that not all carbohydrates are created equal. There are different kinds of carbohydrates available for us. They are the good sources of carbohydrate, and they are the bad sources of carbohydrate. So what do I actually advocate for is that you need to choose wisely the sources of carbohydrates, and also the portions of carbohydrates, and what are you taking the carbohydrate with. Because also I'm not advocating for just taking carbohydrates on its own, or what is known as naked carbohydrates. That will also cause blood sugar imbalances. So you need to be wise on your choices of carbohydrates. So you want to go for things like roots, tubers like sweet potatoes, arrowroots, butternuts, pumpkin, whole grains. When it comes to fruits, you need to go for the natural fruits as much as possible, and forgo the processed carbohydrates and added sugars, because now those are the culprits. So when you're talking about carbohydrates, you have to really go into details like what carbohydrates are we avoiding, what carbohydrates are we taking when you have PCOS. So if you choose rightly and in the right portions, definitely it will give you the results that you want. First of all, when you take, like say during breakfast, when you take something that has carbohydrate, protein, and fat, that is in itself a well-balanced meal, and it's going to keep you satiated. You're not going to feel hungry just like after 1 hour, and that means also your hormones are going to be balanced. They are going to be stable throughout the day, and then you're going to be in good mood compared to a person that just ate salad. Salad is actually not a meal. It is what you put in the salad. Like, it is not just vegetables. It is what you add onto that salad that makes it a complete meal. So I hope you get that about carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are really not the villains. They are really not the culprits. It is your choice of carbohydrate that could be the culprit. And when it comes to insulin resistance, that is usually makes carbohydrates look bad. It is not caused by carbohydrates. Insulin resistance is a cell issue. Maybe I'll go deeper about insulin resistance another time. And it has a lot of connection to chronic stress levels, chronic high stress levels. So your stress levels could be what is causing your insulin resistance. Your inflammation could also be linked to your insulin resistance, and not just carbohydrates. Maybe if you take a lot of processed carbohydrates, packet juices and all that, that can contribute. But if you go for the natural ones, real food, like what our ancestors ate during those times, it definitely will be good for your hormones, and it will be good for energy and all the benefits that come with carbohydrates. So I hope that my message is home, and if you have any comments regarding the issue of carbohydrates, are you on a very low carbohydrate, or are you taking normally carbohydrates, and what is your experience so far with them? I would love to hear that. So that is it. Bye bye.